Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we learn from St. Augustine, Doctor of the Church, while we read his book, Confessions. Welcome, Catholic pilgrims. Just 2 more readings in Book 11. How have you done with Book 11? Okay? I hope so. I know it's been a lot of philosophy, and maybe you didn't anticipate that, and that's okay. I didn't either. But let's go ahead and read our second to last chapter in Book 11 by turning to page 279 and reading from chapter 30. Then I shall be cast and set firm in the mold of your truth. I shall no longer suffer the questions of men who, for their punishment, are sick of a disease which makes them thirst for more than they can drink, so that they ask, what was God doing before he made heaven and earth? Or how did it occur to God to create something when he had never created anything before? Grant them, O Lord, to think well what they say and to recognize that never has no meaning when there is no time. If a man is said never to have made anything, it can only mean that he made nothing at any time. Let them see, then, that there cannot possibly be time without creation. Let them have done with this nonsense. Let them instead be intent on what lies before them. Let them understand that before all time began, you are the eternal creator of all time, and that no time and no created thing is co-eternal with you, even if any created thing is outside time. St. Augustine does not like questions about God that are kind of illogical. Don't ask, what was God doing before he made heaven and earth? Don't ask if, hey, did it just occur one day to God to create something? So why does Augustine have no patience for these questions? Well, it's because they seem to treat God like he's just another guy like us. Hey, what was God up to? Just hanging around, shooting the breeze? Did a neat idea just pop in his head one day and he was like, hey, I'm feeling a little bored. Maybe I'll just whip up a universe. Granted, we do have to be patient with people, but sometimes the way people think about God or treat God is as if he's just a really cool dude. The other day, I posted my reflections on the conversation that Jesus has with the Canaanite woman, where she's coming to Jesus and she's asking him to get rid of the demons in her daughter. And because she's a Canaanite, she's not a Jewish woman. Anyway, to our modern English-speaking minds, how Jesus responds to her seems a bit rude. But if we look at Jesus as just a guy, then yes, he does seem rude, maybe a little cranky, and even perhaps sinful. But Jesus is the God-man, and we absolutely cannot read anything Jesus says as being sinful. He did not sin. We always have to get a deeper understanding of what is going on. Well, in the comments of my reflection, this guy showed up, and he said that, funny enough, his priest said Jesus was just being immature. Excuse me? No. Jesus was not acting immaturely. To be immature, why would the apostles ever write that down? Everything Jesus did had an importance to it, and so if the apostles put it in there, it wasn't just because they were trying to show a scene where Jesus was being immature. We cannot read it that way. We also can't read it as if Jesus is just kind of flippantly dealing with this woman and she's annoying him. And so I told him that it was wrong for his priest to say that. And he got upset with me. And he was like, oh yeah, so Jesus didn't sneak off and go into the temple and was disobedient to his parents. He wasn't a child, a teenager, or an adult. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Jesus did not sneak off in a deceptive way at the age of 12. By the age of 12, you are of the age of reason. And so that means that there's absolutely no way Jesus was trying to be deceptive and sneak off from his parents. No way. Because he did not sin. Now, when he was little, sure, he made mistakes and, probably accidents happened, but those aren't sinful things. That's just him being a little guy learning to use his arms and his legs. Anyway, he was very upset with me. And I told him, I was like, you are dangerously close to being blasphemous by saying that Jesus acted in ways that we as human beings would act. Being immature, being deceptive, being sneaky, being rude, being too harsh, all of those things, those are not things that Jesus does. And I kind of lost my patience with him because, like St. Augustine, like, don't think that way at all. We must be respectful to God, and we must humble ourselves, and we must never try to see God as just a pretty cool sky guy who, had the same kind of struggles as us, or is bored up in heaven, or just has neat ideas pop into his head. No, 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 no. We are talking about the supreme being, creator of the heavens and the earth, existence itself. We cannot in any way try to box him in to human-like ways. So that is all for today, Catholic Pilgrims. I will see you back here for our last reading in Book 11. But until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.